All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're talking Detroit Lions taking down my Green Bay Packers Thursday Night Football on the road in Lambeau Field. These guys started quick, and it was very, very quickly becoming a blowout. They put up 14 in the first quarter. They only gave up 3. It was 27-3 at halftime. Detroit pretty much was able to coast the rest of this game. The Detroit Lions defense is just genuinely terrifying. This Lions team in general is quite terrifying. David Montgomery, 3 rushing touchdowns. This team just controlled the clock. They controlled the trenches, both sides of the football. The offensive line, the defensive line, they were just all over it. It was a domination victory. I mean, the scoreboard says they only won by 14, but even take it from a Packers fan, there was no point at that entire game from the second we started that I thought, yeah, you know what? I think we can come back from this. Detroit, at the end of the day, 43 rushes, 211 yards. They averaged 5 yards rushing. Obviously, the 3 rushing touchdowns to Demont. Jahmyr Gibbs, 40 rushing yards. David Montgomery, 120. They won the possession battle 37-22. They won the turnover battle. Jared Goff played perfectly fine, but what's kind of scary is, I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You know, outside of the rushing attack, Detroit didn't really need to do too much. Shout out Sam Laporta, but Jared Goff at the end of the day, 19-28, 210 yards, a touchdown, and an interception to start off the drive, but they bounced back immediately. All right. Welcome back to the channel, though. Obviously, tonight we're talking Detroit Lions football. This video does hurt. It does sting a little bit, but I've been anticipating this for like a year now. I mean, obviously from last year. Lions fans, if you could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. But hit that like button, hit that sub button if you guys have not already. This offense it's just the tip of the iceberg. Their defense is night and day different than they were last season. You know, they coming off a game where they only allowed 6 points to the Atlanta Falcons, who were undefeated at the time. You know, Jordan Love looked lost. He looks dazed. He looks confused. The first half was a complete and utter nightmare. They made Jordan Love's life just hell. I mean, this defensive line was all over the place. Jerry Jacobs with 2 interceptions, not 1, but 2 interceptions. Brian Branch did get injured, but he thankfully did come back. I mean, these guys are all over. John Kaminsky, Aleem McNeil, let's go, man. He lost so much weight. He looks so great out there. 3rd season. He's done a phenomenal job, especially in these last 2 football games. Aiden Hutchinson, there's no answer for Aiden Hutchinson. No team has had an answer for this man. And the thing is, you can double team him as much as you want. Guys are still going to get there. McNeil, Harris, Buggs, like, they were all over it. I was kind of surprised they only finished with 5 sacks. 5 sacks is still an extremely impressive stat line, but I mean, that defense is crazy. It is crazy, and they're loaded with young talent. Keep in mind, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is still injured. He might be done for a while, but they've got depth and they've got talent on this defense. It's quite terrifying. One thing I've loved about Detroit so far in their first 4 football games, they're just controlling the game. I mean, they're controlling the game. They don't have to do anything too fancy. First off, I think Ben Johnson, he is just a genius. Getting Ben Johnson back was one of the biggest things of the offseason that, you know, not too many people outside of Detroit Lions fans were talking about. The offense is efficient. And I love that they're getting that run game going because David Montgomery, he's back. He's healthy. You've got Jahmyr Gibbs in your back pocket, kind of just, I mean, a perfect playmaker. But Jared Goff's Jared Goff. You know, Jared Goff is Jared Goff. He's going to make plays when he needs to make plays. Started the game off with an interception, which was very uncharacteristic of him. I mean, he does make mistakes. He does throw interceptions. But to start off the game on the first drive was a little bit shocking to me. Here's a fun fact for the Detroit Lions. They had 401 total yards of offense tonight. Outside of the rushing attack, I mean, the rushing attack was really solid. They were moving the chains. They were controlling the trenches. They were controlling the time of possession. They were eating a bunch of time off of the clock. I mean, when you're up 27-3, you know, kind of goes without saying, you're in a pretty good position to win that football game. But man, I don't even think that this offense looked all that explosive because obviously, once again, they started the game off putting up 14 in the first quarter, 13 in the second quarter. They didn't need to get deep in the playbook, but that's just like what I'm trying to hammer home here. Is this tonight? You know, that rushing attack was great. It was very nice. It's just the tip of the iceberg. They put up 34 points on my Green Bay Packers defense. I'm sitting here wearing my Aaron Rodgers jersey. That first half was absolutely depressing. I want to talk about some of these rookies because these rookies are making big ass impacts. We know Jameer Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs, I still feel like kind of hasn't. I mean, he had a great game against Atlanta with Demont being injured. We're only 4 weeks in. I feel like they're still kind of easing him in. Tonight, he had 4 catches for 11 yards, 8 rushes for 40 yards, averaging 5. He had a long of 9. The dude's just good. I mean, he's just good. And it's just the same thing with everybody on this offense. It's just the tip of the iceberg. But Sam Laporta had his kind of coming out party week 3 of his very brief NFL career this past or 1 week ago against the Atlanta Falcons. Tonight, 4 catches, 56 yards. The receiving stats aren't too crazy because, Jared Goff didn't have to throw too much outside of like the first quarter, the second quarter, couple, only 210 passing yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5 catches, 56 yards. Josh Reynolds, the dude is so underrated. I'm so glad that people are kind of finally starting to see like, oh, damn, Josh Reynolds. People were so worried about this Lions receiving core. I'm thinking to myself, well, David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs, I've got my running backs. I'm very big on Sam Laporta. I think every Lions fan was big on Sam Laporta. I don't think it was, the dude's leading. I know he was leading before tonight's game. Through 3 weeks, he's the leading receiving tight end in the National Football League. He's not leading in rookies. He's leading the league in tight end receiving yards. And he played tonight 4 games, but prior to tonight, only 3 games. The dude's just high IQ. Everybody on the Detroit Lions is just high IQ. But 4 catches, 56 yards for the rookie tonight. Then Brian Branch, he starts off his NFL career with a freaking pick 6. We know this dude was special. I really thought he was going to be a Green Bay Packer. He's all over. And he's just all over the field. Tonight, he got banged up. It was a little worrisome. Gets carted off with the ankle. He comes back in. This guy's gritty. This guy's just gritty. This is an intense defense. They're so hungry. These guys are absolutely loving it. They're loving it with each other. I feel a real sense of community. I feel a real sense of just these guys are having fun and they love each other. And it's night and day difference, not necessarily with the Green Bay Packers, but like the vibes are high. The momentum is high. All of these small little things go into it. So Detroit's sitting here. They're sitting pretty. They're 3-1 right now. They've taken down some nice NFC opponents. They took down the Kansas City Chiefs to start off the season. Seattle, they did get a loss there. Upcoming games, you've got Carolina. You've got Tampa Bay. I mean, I know we talked about it in the offseason, the Detroit Lions winning 13 games. Anything over 10, anything into the playoffs, that works for me. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, but I think that would work for most Lions fans. I mean, these guys are scary, and I love the way this schedule looks, and they have yet to really even hit their stride offensively. That defense, it is at least top half in the NFL. That's it for tonight, man. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Guys, Lions fans, give me a grade on your team down below. Give me some thoughts. Give me any opinion. I love reading it. We're going to break down this game a little bit more in depth tomorrow or the day after, so stay tuned for a Lions video coming out this weekend. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your night. And very good win, man. Very, very, very good win. I know this team, we talked about it all off season, but they've arrived and they are here.